Welcome friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Myself, Professor Parag Sausani, Department of Civil Engineering, Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. In the previous video sessions, we are discussing about the plane surveying. In the plane surveying, we are also discussed various methods, terminology, and different phenomena and calculations that are useful in the plane surveying. Now we are discussing about the geodetic surveying. We are discussing about the plane surveying, and now after that we are discussing about geodetic surveying. In this chapter, we are learning about the principle and classification of triangulation system, selection of baseline and stations, order of triangulation, triangulation figures, station marks and signals, marking signals, extension of base, reduction of center, selection and marking of stations. First, we have to understand about the different divisions of survey. Now, we are commonly used that our earth surface is plane. Generally, our explanation scenario is that our earth surface is plane. But the approximate shape of earth can be defined as an obsolete spheroidal or ellipsoid of revolution. But our most of civil engineering work concerned only with a small portion on the earth, which seems to be a plane surface. But when we are work with the larger extent of shape within our earth boundary, the shape is spherical or curvature. So based upon the consideration of shape of earth, surveying broadly divided into the two types. One of that is a plane surveying and second one is that a geodetic surveying. Now, scope and use of plane surveying. We are also knowing about the plane surveying and different methods used in plane surveying. But first we have to understand what is the plane surveying. After that we are understanding about the difference between plane table surveying and geodetic surveying. Plane surveys are carried out of engineering project on sufficiently large scale to determine the relative positions of individual features of Earth's surface. Plane surveys are used for the layout of highways, railways, canals, fixing boundary pillars, and any other small types of works. The scope of use of plane survey is wide. Now, another divisions of plane surveying is plane surveying further divided or classified by using that methodology and the instruments, that is the chain surveying, traverse surveying, plane table surveying, and ordinary leveling procedures. That are the divisions of plane surveying. Now, chain surveying is a simplex type of surveying in which the area to be surveyed is divided into a number of triangles, right? In the chain surveying, we are also providing a baseline, that different line connected joining with the different points, and we are measuring the length of sides are measured and the interior details are recorded. The whole area is then plotted on a suitable scale to produce a map. Now that is the instrument chain we are generally used for measurement of length. In the traverse surveying is one of the type of plane surveying in which the plot and land to be surveyed or is enclosed by a series of straight line making angles with one another, and the length of line and the angles are measured and plotted with all interior details on the drawing sheet. Now that is the diagram of open traverse and that is the diagram of closed traverse. We are also discussing during the theodolite traversing, that is the two types of traverse, open traverse and closed traverse. Generally, the next method is the plane table surveying. That is also a method of plane surveying. In this, we are using the plane table and marking our points with respect to its optical dimensions and measurement by the taking measurement by the tapes. It is generally adopting for a small scale mapping. Plane table surveying is used for locating a field computation of area of field. Now that is the one picture represent that what is the plane table surveying. One person are set beside the table and sighting the one of the object with by using the LED, and that mark the points on the map, and that types of map they prepared in the plane table survey. Now, what are the merits of plane surveying? Generally, it is a most suitable method. Field book is not necessary. This is most rapid method. No great skill is required for satisfactory map. Contour and irregular object may be represented accurately, and it is less costly, right? And the plane table generally a topical instrument. It is not an accurate instrument, but it is useful for the general rough type of map preparation and that topographical map service. And generally it is not suitable for work in wet climate like during the rainy season. The plane table surveying is uh, not adaptable when we have to prepare the map of the topography or any other topographical features. Now next is the geodetic surveying. Now geodetic surveying measures all elevation from the level surface, and because all instrument uses a straight reference plane, this require all instrument reading of elevation and then to be adjusted for the curvature of earth. So in the simple word we have to say that in the geodetic surveying the curvature of earth is to be considered. The geodetic surveying generally used when the high degree of accuracy is needed or when the survey will cover the long distance or a larger area like said kilometer square or the kilometers or miles. It is useful to obtain the accurate maps of wide areas and to be established the control point for the other survey. Now some of the terminology are used in the geodetic surveying. We have to learn about that terminology. Main word azimuth is generally used in that geodetic surveying. Azimuth is an angular measurement in a spherical coordinate system. In that sphere, we are seeing that is the azimuth. What is the definition of azimuth? The vector from an observer to a point of interest is projected perpendicular on a reference plane. Right, point of object is perpendicularly on a reference plane. Right. The angle between the projected vector and the reference vector on the reference plane is called azimuth. Right? That is the reference plane and that is the reference vector. Right? That is called azimuth. With respect to north, we can calculate the or measuring the azimuth. An example is the position of star in the sky. The star is a point of interest and the reference plane is the horizon of the surface of sea. The reference vector points north, right? That is the reference vector point. North is the reference vector point. The azimuth is the angle between north vector and the perpendicular projection of the star down into the horizon, right? That is the perpendicular projection of star down into the horizon, right? That is the horizon. Totally sphere surface is a horizon, and that is the perpendicular projection. Azimuth usually measured in degree. The concept is used in navigation, astronomy, engineering maps, mining, artillery. So the azimuth has also been more generally defined as an horizontal angle measured clockwise from any fixed reference plane or easily established base direction line. Now, what are the uses of geodetic surveying? That are the another question, and there are the uses of geodetic surveying. For engineering purpose, the engineer uses a geodetic surveying for finding out the exact location of concerned point or area. Latitudes and longitudes are needed any engineering construction. For construction purposes, builders used to find out the direction of buildings or exact location for Vastu Shastra. Land surveying and assessment. The vertical elevation and horizontal attributes, the latitude and longitude of the area surveyed are found out through geodetic surveying. Now generally that is the earth surface, that is the plane triangle, that is the spherical triangle. Generally, we are considering Earth surface as a plane, so we are connecting 3 points. That is a triangle. But if you are using the geodetic surveying or the larger area, so we have to use its curvature shape, and area becomes larger with compared to the linear measurement. Now that are the comparison between the plane surveying and geodetic surveying. It is a type of surveying in which the main reference of Earth is considered as a plane and the spherical shape is neglected. It is the in the geodetic surveying, the spherical shape of the Earth is taken into account. All survey lines are considered as a straight and all triangles are considered as a plane triangle. In the geodetic surveying, all survey lines are considered curved and all triangles considered as a spherical triangle. It is used for the survey of relatively small areas like less than 250 kilometers square, and after that we are using the geodetic surveying measurements. The standard of accuracy is low in the plane table surveying, while in the geodetic surveying standard of accuracy is higher. The direction of plumb line at the various points are assumed to be parallel to one another, and when the geodetic surveying, the direction of plumb line at various points are not parallel to one another. It is useful for engineering purposes, while the geodetic surveying is useful for accurate mapping for wide areas and control points for all other surveys. Now, geodetic surveying measures all elevation from the level surface, and because all instrument uses a straight trapezoid plane, this requires all instrument reading of elevation to be adjusted for the curvature for Earth. So, the geodetic surveys are used when high degree of accuracy is needed and the surveys will cover long distance or a large area. Now, we are moving to the principle of triangulation system. We are known that generally triangulation is the main principle of surveying. The horizontal positions of the point can be obtained in a number of different ways in addition to traversing. These methods are triangulation, trilateration, intersection, resection, and satellite positioning. Triangulation is based on the trigonometric proportion that if one side and two angles of triangle are known, the remaining sides can be computed. If the direction of one side is known, the direction of the remaining sides can be determined using the trigonometric position. A trigonometric system consists a series of joined or overlapping triangles in which the occasional side is measured and remaining sides are calculated from the angles measured at the vertices of triangle. The vertices of the triangle are known as a triangulation station. The side of triangle whose length is predetermined is called the baseline. See in the figure is that the baseline is determined previously. The principle of triangulation system or a trilateration system, also called, consists of series of joined or overlapping triangles. In the trilateration, the lengths of all sides of triangle are measured in the few directions or angle are measured to establish azimuth. Trilateration has become feasible with the development of the electronic distance measuring equipment, which was made possible to the measurement of all lengths with high order of accuracy. Under almost all field conditions, a combined triangulation and trilateration system consists of a network of triangle in which all angles and the all lengths are measured. Such a combined system represents the strongest network for creating horizontal control. Since a triangulation or a trilateration system covers a very large area, the curvature of Earth has to be taken into account. These surveys are therefore invariably geodetic. Triangulation surveys were first carried out by Snell Dutchman in 1615. Procedure to establish a trilateration station are similar to procedures used for triangulation. The principle of triangulation system is based on the simple triangulation that just we adopt in the plane surveying. In that, one of the baseline, check line, tie line, and another representation of line joining the stations. Generally, if the direction of one side is known, so we can also get the direction of another lines with respect to that triangulation system. Generally, horizontal position of nodes is known as a network developed to provide the accurate control for the topographic mapping, charting, lakes, rivers, ocean, coastline, and for the survey required for the design and construction of public and private work of large extent. The horizontal position of the points can be obtained in a number of different ways in addition to traversing. Triangulation is based on the trigonometric proposition that if one side and two angles of the triangle are known, the remaining sides can be computed. If we have one of the baseline and we don't know the length of the another line like FB and AE, so we are determining from the point locations, and we also provide checks for remaining lines. Now, in the simple word, that is the understanding of principle of triangulation. It shows the two interconnected triangles ABC and BCD. All the angles in both the triangles in the length of L of side AB have been measured. Also, the azimuth of theta AB has been measured at the triangulation station A, and their coordinate is XA and YA. The objective is to determine the coordinates of triangulation station B, C, and D by the method of triangulation. Let us first calculate the length of all lines by sine rule in delta ABC. We have AB upon sine 3, BC upon sine 1, and CA upon sine 2. We have a length AB is equal to L. So we are called LAB. Now BC is equal to L sine 1 upon sine 3 is equal to LBC. And CA is equal to L sine 2 upon sine 3 is equal to LCA. Now the side BC is known in delta BCD by sine rule. So BC upon sine 6 is equal to CD upon sine 4 and BD upon sine 5. So we have BC is equal to L sine 1 upon sine 3 is equal to LBC. Same as for CD and BC also. The azimuth of theta AB is equal to theta. So that angle is called theta AB, and azimuth of AC is equal to theta plus delta angle L is equal to theta AC. The azimuth of BC is equal to theta plus 180 degree minus second angle. So we can get the theta BC. As per same, we are deducting the angles from the azimuth of the different lines, and we can get that required azimuth angle. From the ground length of side and the azimuth, the consecutive ordinate can also be computed. So the latitude of AB is equal to LAB L cos theta. That is the common formula for calculation of latitudes. So LAB cos theta, and departure L sin theta is the common formula for calculation of departure. So departure of AB is equal to LAB sin theta AB. Now, as per following procedures, we can also calculate the latitude and departures of different lines. The desired coordinate of triangulation station B, C, and D are as x coordinate of B, y coordinate of B, x coordinate of C, y coordinate of C, and xy coordinates of C. That is the different coordinate. We have to plus and minus, and we have seen from the figure. So, as per the above formulation, we are found that the length of side can be computed more than once, following different routes, and we are getting the achieving the better accuracy. So we are also calculating by using the coordinate mode, or we are also calculating by using the length. Now, what is the uses of triangulation? Triangulation is a way to determining the something's location using the locations of other things. It is commonly used by geologists to find the locations of earthquake, and it is also used to determine the spacecraft location. There are several ways to use the triangulation to figure out the location. Generally, earthquake gives two kinds of waves. One kind is always faster than other. So longer distance the waves travel, the more ahead the faster kind gets. If the place feels both kinds of earthquake waves, it can figure out how far away the center of the earthquake was. In the picture below, the waves tells scientists that quake was 600 km away from the Boise. Scientists can draw the circle around the Boise so that every point of circle is 300 km from the Boise. The earthquake is somewhere on that circle. Now see in the picture, that is the one location Boise, and 300 km away from the Boise that can be noted. So we are drawing the circle and we can find out the epicenter and that different parameters of earthquake. Objective of a triangulation survey. Generally, main objective of triangulation or trilateration survey is to provide a number of stations whose relative absolute position and horizontal as well as vertical are accurately established. Generally, the triangulation surveys are carried out to establish the accurate control point. After that, accurate control point photogrammetric survey of the large area to assist in determination of the size and shape of Earth, to determine the accurate location of point on engineering works, to fixing the center line for abutment and long bridges like bridges over the sea and bridges over the long canal networks or the long river networks, transforming control points across the generally sea channel. Also we are using the triangulation survey. Generally crustal movement like tectonic block movements we also finding by using this survey. Finding the direction of movement of clouds we also use that type of triangulation survey. Now that is the classification of triangulation system based on the extent and purpose of a survey, and consequently on the degree of accuracy desired. The triangulation survey are classified as a first order, primary order, or second order, and secondary order, third order, and tertiary order. Like in the first order, triangulation used to determine the shape and the size of earth, or to cover the vast area like whole country with the control points to which the second order triangulation system can be connected. In the second order triangulation, system consists of a network within first order triangulation. It is used to cover the areas of the order of the region, small country, or provide or domain. Third order of triangulation is a framework fixed within a connected to a second order triangulation system. It serves the purpose of furnishing the immediate control for detailed engineering and location survey. Now that are some of the classification when we are adopting the first order, second order, and third order. So from the length of baseline, length of side, and the maximum station closure, actual error or base, probable error of base, discrepancy between two measures, probable error of the computed distances, probable error in astronomical azimuth. That are the different parameters. So based on that, we are classified that triangulation system in the first, second, or third order. The figures used in the triangulation networks are the triangle, braced or geodetic quadrilaterals, and the polygon with a central station. The triangles in the triangulation system can be arranged in a number of ways. Some of the commonly used arrangement, also known called as layout, are as follows: single chain triangle, double chain triangle, braced quadrilaterals, center triangle, and polygon, or the combination of above system also. That are the different types of layout for triangulation system. Now see in the picture is that is the single chain of triangles. When the control points are required to be established in the narrow strip, the terrain such as valley between ridges layout consisting of a single chain triangle is generally used. This system is rapid and economical due to its simplicity of siting only 4 other stations and doesn't involve the observation of long diagonals. On the other hand, the simple triangles of the triangular system provide only one route through which the distances can be computed, and hence the system doesn't provide any check on the accuracy of observation. Check baseline and astronomical observation for azimuths have to be provided at a frequent interval to avoid the excessive accumulation of errors in this layout. Now layout of double chain triangle is shown in figure. This arrangement is used for covering the large width of belt. This system is also has disadvantage of single chain of triangle system. That is the double chain triangle that should consist two baselines. So we have also useful, or that is the breast quadrilateral triangulation system. In this system consists containing four corner station and observed diagonal shown in figure. It consists of overlapping triangles. This system is treated to be a strongest and best arrangement of triangles, and it provides means of computing length of the sides using different combinations of sides and angle. Most of the triangulation systems use these arrangements. Now next one is the center triangle and polygons. Generally, a triangular system which consists of figure containing interior stations and the triangles and polygons as shown in figure is known as center triangle and the polygons. Generally, it is useful for the vast area in all direction is required to be covered. Through this system provides to check on the accuracy of work. Generally, it is not as strong as the breast quadrilateral arrangement. Moreover, the progress of work is quite slow due to the fact that more setting of the instrument are required. Now, next one is the combined system. A combination of all above system sometimes is used, which may be according to the shape of area and the accuracy requirement. Now the layout of primary triangulation for a large country. The following types of the framework generally used for the large country to cover the entire area. Next one is the grid iron system and central system. That type of system are generally used for the large country. That is the grid iron system of triangulation. In this system, the primary triangulation is based on the series of chain of triangle, which usually run roughly along the meridian and along the perpendicular to the meridians. Throughout the country, the distance between the two such chains may vary from 150 to 250 km. The area between the parallel and perpendicular series of primary triangulation are filled by the secondary and tertiary triangulation system. Gridiron system has been adopted in India and other countries like Australia, Spain and France. That is the central system. In this system, whole area is covered by the network of primary triangulation system extending in all directions from the initial triangulation figure ABC, which is generally laid at the center of country. This system is generally used for the survey open area of a moderate extent. It has been adopted in UK and there are various other countries like larger country. Now we are moving to the criteria for selection of the layout of triangles. The under mentioned points should be considered while deciding and selecting the suitable layout of triangles. Simple triangle should be preferably equilateral and vast quadrilateral should be preferably approximate squares. Centered polygon should be regular. The arrangement should be such that the computation can be done through two or more independent routes. The arrangement should be such that at least one route and preferably two routes from the well conditioned triangle No angle of the figure opposite a known side should be small, whichever end of the series is used for computation. The angle of simple triangle should not be less than 45 degree, and in case of the quadrilateral the angle should not be less than the 30 degree. In case of a center polygon, no angle should be less than 40 degree. The sides of figure should be comparable length. Very long lines and very short lines should be avoided. The length should be such that it requires least work to achieve the maximum progress. As far as possible, complex figures should not involve more than 12 conditions. It may be noted that if a very small angle of triangle doesn't fall opposite the known side, it knows at affect the accuracy of triangulation. Now, well-conditioned triangle. What is the well-conditioned triangle? The accuracy of triangle system is greatly affected by the arrangement of the triangles in the layout and the magnitude of angles in individual triangles. The angles of such a shape in which the error in angular measurement has minimum effect upon the computed length is known as well-conditioned triangle. In any triangle of the triangulation system, the length of one side is generally obtained from the computation of adjacent triangle. The error in which the two other sides, if any, will affect the sides of triangle whose computation is based upon their values. Due to accumulated errors, entire triangulation system is thus affected thereafter. To ensure that the two sides of any triangle are equally affected, this should be therefore be equal in length. The condition suggests that all the triangles must therefore be isosceles. Now, let us consider the understanding of the well-conditioned triangle. Now, first we have to consider the isosceles triangle ABC, whose one side AB is of known length, and let A, B, and C the three angles of triangles, and ABC are the three sides of opposite to the angles respectively. The triangle is isosceles. Let the A and B be equal. Apply the sine rule of delta ABC. A upon sine A, C upon sine C. So A is equal to C sine A upon sine C. If the error is delta A in the angle A and the delta C in angle C, introduce the error delta A1 delta A2 respectively in side A, and then differentiating the equation partially, we get the delta A1 is equal to C cos A delta A upon sin C. So delta A2 is equal to minus C sin A cos C delta C upon sin square C. By dividing equation delta A1 and delta A2, we can get the equations for the isosceles triangle, and we have to consider the sides A and B be equal. Delta A1 upon A is equal to delta A cot A. Dividing equation delta A2 by equation A, we can get delta A2 by A is equal to minus delta C cot C. If delta A is equal to delta C is equal to plus or minus A is the probable error in the angles, then the probable error in the side A are delta A upon A is equal to plus or minus alpha under root cot square A plus cot square C. C is equal to 180 degree minus A plus B. So C is equal to 180 degree minus 2A. Therefore, delta A by A is equal to plus or minus alpha cot square A plus cot square 2A. From equation we find that if A and delta A is to be minimum, cot square A plus cot square 2A should be a minimum. So, by differentiating cot square A plus cot square 2A with respect to A and equating to 0, we have 4 cos square A plus cos square A minus 1 is equal to 0. By solving the above equation for cos A, we can get A is equal to 56 degree and 40 minute. Hence, the base shape on isosceles triangle is that the triangle whose base angles are 50 degree, 56 degree and 40 minute each. However, from the practical consideration, equilateral triangle may be treated as well-conditioned triangle. In actual practice, a triangle having an angle less than 30 or more than 120 should not be considered. So, our criteria for the well-conditioned triangle is not less than 30 degree angles for any angle and 120 degree for maximum angle. Now we are moving to the strength of figure. Strength of figure is a factor to be considered in establishing a triangulation system to maintain the computation within the desired degree of precision. From a given change in the angles, the sign of the small angle change in the rapidly than those large angles. This suggests that the smaller angles less than 30 degree should not be used in the computation of triangulation. If due to unavoidable circumstances, angles less than 30 degree are used, when then it must be ensured that this is not opposite and the side whose length is required to be computed for carrying forward the triangulation series. It plays also an important role in the deciding the layout of triangulation system. The US Coast and Geodetic Surveys has developed a convenient method of evaluating the strength of triangulation figure. The expression given by the US Coast and Geodetic Survey for evaluation of the strength of figure is the square of the probable error that would be occur in the sixth place of logarithm of any side if the computation are carried from the known side through the single chain of triangles after the net has been adjusted for the sides and triangle angle conditions. The expression of L square is 4 by 3 d square upon d square into r, where d is the probable error of an observed direction in the seconds of arc and r is the term which represents the shape of figure. Generally, r is represented as d minus c upon d summation of delta square a plus delta a into delta b plus delta square b, where d is the number of direction observed excluding the no side of figure, delta a, delta b, and delta c the differences per second in the sixth place of logarithm of the sine of the distance angle a, b and c respectively. C is equal to the number of geometric conditions for the sides and angle to be satisfied in each figure. So the calculation of C in the above term is equal to n dash minus s dash plus 1 plus n minus 2s plus 3, where the n is equal to total number of lines including the known side in a figure. The n dash is equal to the number of lines observed in both directions including the known side. S is equal to the total number of stations and S dash is equal to the number of stations occupied. Now for the computation of quantity, delta A plus delta A into delta B and delta plus delta B in the equation of R, the table 1.2 may be used. In then any triangulation system, more than one route are possible for various stations. The strength of figure decided by the factor R alone. If the computed value of r is less, the strength of figure is more, and if the computed value of r is more, the strength of figure is less. Now that is the table for calculation of values of r. So for that given values of delta a and delta b, we can choose the value of r from the for the calculation of strength of figure. I hope you are enjoying this lecture. Now, in the further topics, we are discussing our next video lectures. Thank you.